great to have you here, and thanks for being with us. As you know, we had some members of the development team present on some of the work that they've carried out in 2023 with the view of improving the switch and making sure that we future-proof it so that the value that we deliver to you continues to be there for the long run. We have with us during this segment of the presentation Jekka, who is going to be taking us through some of the issues relating to stir shaking as well as continuous integration and other critical issues that it's important for you to understand and know about. We also have members of our Vancouver team with us today. We've got Amelia's son, who is a front-end developer. We've got Yusuke Kohatsu, who is also in our Vancouver team. And we've got Anu Pathak, who is on our billing team. So we're very happy to introduce all of them to you. And they are all going to be sharing information that is important for you to know and that helps Sippy guaranteed to stay a step ahead of the competition. For now, I'll put you back with Philip, and he'll take us through each one of the presentations by introduction. Thanks, Philip.
Hi, everyone. I'm Philip. So I'm going to throw it over to Jekka, our resident senior front-end developer, who's been with Sippy since pretty much the beginning of time. Today, his talk will revolve around continuous integration and how we approach that here at Sippy. He'll also talk about some changes done in our XML API to support stir shaken. And his final topic today will be some changes that he's made in around blocking web users as a security improvement that we have. For now, I'm going to throw it over to Jekka to start his presentation.
Okay, thank you, Philip. Hello, everybody. My name is Jekka, and I will start. So, continuous integration. What is continuous integration? Continuous integration, or just CI, is a software development practice that involves automatically and frequently integrating code changes from multiple contributors into a shared repository. This process ensures that the latest code modifications are regularly tested, preventing integration issues that may arise when developers work in isolation. CI aims to identify and address bugs or conflicts early in the development cycle, promoting a more stable and reliable code base. Ultimately, CI enhances the overall software development process by promoting consistency, early error detection, and rapid integration. Next slide, please. Sippy software has been dedicated to the practice of continuous integration for several years, seamlessly integrating it into the development processes. The company follows a well-organized development approach, with Jenkins serving as the cornerstone of own CI strategy, ensuring the smooth integration of code changes. Sippy software places a high value on efficiency in the development process, implementing a continuous integration strategy with automated builds and tests to swiftly and reliably check and validate code changes. This approach aids in the early detection and resolution of issues, contributing to a seamless development cycle. The strategic incorporation of CI has not only elevated the company's development workflow, but has also significantly enhanced the overall stability and reliability of the code base. Below is a standard CI workflow diagram employed in the majority of our internal sub-projects. After a software developer makes code changes in the Git repository, the Jenkins agent monitors the modifications and initiates various tasks such as code style checks, code linking, and running unit tests. Based on the task outcomes, a new build is generated. The developer receives a notification to address any identified issues or proceed with deploying the new build. Presented below is a standard stage view from Jenkins. As observed, the code underwent various checks, and unfortunately, one of these checks did not pass. Next slide. Every check has the capability to produce distinct metrics, diagrams, and reports. Here is an illustration of a successfully completed unit test report. Additionally, here is the corresponding report on code coverage. This comprehensive integration of continuous integration, this comprehensive integration of continuous, one more time. This comprehensive integration of continuous integration at Sippy software not only underscores the company's commitments to efficient development processes, but also exemplifies a strategic approach leveraging automated builds and tests, facilitating swift validation of code changes, early issue detection, and seamless development cycles, ultimately enhancing the overall stability and reliability of the code base. The next part I want to cover is an enhancement in our XML API, and they are related with stir-shaking management. Stir-shaking is a framework designed to combat illegal caller ID spoofing, a common tactic used by robocallers and fraudulent entities. Stir comes from a secure telephony identity revisited, and shaken comes from signature-based handling of asserted information using tokens. They work together to verify and authenticate the calling party's identity. Stir involves the cryptographic signing of caller ID information, and shaken defines the protocols for the verification and attestation of these signed calls. By implementing stir-shaking, service providers can enhance the trustworthiness of caller ID information, making it more difficult for malicious actors to manipulate and deceive call recipients. Stir-shaking requires an SSL certificate to establish a secure and encrypted communication channel between the entities involved in the verification process, ensuring the confidentiality and integrity of the exchanged information. This security measure is crucial to prevent unauthorized access or tampering, enhancing the overall trustworthiness and effectiveness of the caller ID authentication process. To streamline the management of certificate authority lists and SSL certificates, we introduced a new attribute called domain type. This attribute specifies the relevant domain for the list or certificate, promoting a more cohesive administrative approach. In our recent system update, we improved stir-shaking configuration management by leveraging the newly introduced domain type attribute. This enhancement enables us to categorize and apply configurations more efficiently. Moreover, we optimize the system by transitioning to the use of reference instead of direct values in the configuration, fostering a more flexible approach to system settings. On this page, you can find links to the documentation related to the XML API in question. And the next topic I want to cover is Web UI improvements, and exactly it's related to web users and the access they can have. So in Sippy soft switch, a web user refers to an individual or entity with access to the system features and functionalities through a web-based interface. Web users include administrators, billing and NOC teams, or other authorized personnel who utilize the web interface to configure settings, manage accounts, and oversee the operation of the web services provided by the soft switch. The user interface can be accessed through the menu by navigating to System Management and selecting Users. This is where you can manage and configure user-related settings. Within the web user list, click on the additional options in the action column and choose the block option. Next slide, please. When a web user is blocked, all his web sessions are terminated, and access to the web UI is limited until the administrator chooses to unblock the user. The unblock option is accessible in the additional options menu, similar to the block option. Next slide, please. The remote assistance web user can now be administrated like any other regular web user, allowing for the configuration of the same options as those available for other web users. The recent capability to block or unblock a web user relies on the associated XML API, and you can find its documentation through the provided links. And that's all. Thank you. Fred.
Okay, Philip. So I think that given Jeka's latest presentation here, we've got a number of issues that as a company we look to make sure are crossed off from the checklist, essentially to deliver on efficiency of development and to, as I said earlier, future-proof the switch to make sure that critical functionality like Stir Shaken is built into the system, making sure that we've got everything for continuing to build on the road to improvement. Philip?
Yeah, thanks, Fred. We're now going to move on to two of our junior developers who worked with us over the past year. We have Yusuke, who joined us about November last year. Last year in 2022. And Amelia joined us a few months later after that. So they've been part of our development cycle over the course of making and creating Sippy 2023. For right now, I'm going to throw it over to Yusuke, who's going to talk a little bit about some changes we made for our external translator script, as well as some email changes. And then Amelia will talk a little bit about some other items here. So we'll start off with Yusuke.
Thanks, Philip. Hi, everyone. I'm Yusuke. I'd like to talk about a couple of updates we made for the external translation script and SMTP password encryption. The reason why we decided to extend the feature for the external translation script is because we received a request from customers to support adding headers at the vendor level. So we implemented supporting a new field called Add Header for external translator outbound. This header is going to work similarly to the external translation, which also has the same field. The header allows you to create external headers per trunk connection or routing entry. With this script with add header, you will be able to leave all fields in request untouched and just add extra headers as you like. For those who need further details, please visit the documentation. Next slide, please. Next up is the SMTP password encryption. Currently, customers' passwords are safely stored in their databases. However, when you take a look at them on the web interface, they are exposed as plain passwords. In order to securely handle customers' passwords, we are currently working on the logic to handle the encryption. Once the work is completed, the passwords won't be visible on the web. The change is coming soon. That's everything that I wanted to cover from my end. Thank you, Philip.
Thanks, Yusuke. This is a pretty good security improvement that we'll be making in Sippy 2023. I'm pretty sure we're looking forward to making your soft switch a little bit more secure. Next up, we'll have Amelia talk about one small change that she's made on our next release.
Thank you, Philip. Good morning, everyone. My name is Amelia Sum. I'm a front-end developer at Sippy Soft. Today, I will talk about backup and the data rotation, as well as the summary report page we added this year. Let's begin with the backup configuration. And the Sippy Soft switch features an automatic backup system that allows for detailed customization. You can set the backup to occur daily, weekly, or monthly, selecting a start time that minimizes the impact on system performance, typically during off-peak hours. The system supports several dump formats, with the default SQL text dump offering a good mix of recovery speed and compatibility. For security storage, it's recommended to use a separate drive to prevent data loss during system failures. Additionally, the system can automatically send backups to a remote server with logs of all backup activities maintained for reference and troubleshooting. Next section, data rotation. Our data rotation policy provides automated cleanup for our databases and internal storage. They are customizable and including options for archiving and purging CDRs, reads, routes, and invoices after specific timeframes, ensuring efficient data management. And last year, we added a new feature, notify on success. We added tick box to enable email notifications about successful backup jobs only display on the root environment. We will also provide the customer documentations for more details. Enabling email notifications on successful backup jobs can offer several benefits. Peace of mind. Users receive immediate confirmation of successful backups, ensuring data security, as well as easy verification. Email notifications allow quick backup status checks without manually system logins, and proactive problem solving. Immediate alerts in case of any backup failures allow for quick problem solving, as well as the efficient time management. Users save time by not needing to constantly check backup status. User will be notified if there are any updates. Next slide, please. Now I'm going to talk about backup summary report. The report is divided into two main parts. The first part is a status overview section that includes backup status and indicators showing whether the backup status is positive, negative, or has issues. Next, success, the data and the time of the last successful backup with a relative time, like a day ago, 2 days ago. Next, failure indicates if there has ever been a failure or provides the date and time of the last failure along with how long ago it happened. And then numbers of generations displays the count of backup generations available. And total size shows the data size of the backups in terabytes. And enable types lists all the types of backup, such as local, cloud, or custom. The second part of the report features a detailed table that provides a historical view and the current status of all backups, making it easy for users to access the history and the condition of the backup activities. The visual and informational structure is designed to give users a clear and concise view of the backup status and activity, with immediate insights into recent performance and over backup integrity. Thank you, Philip.
All right, thanks, Amelia. Over to you, Fred.
Thank you, Philip. So with both Amelia's presentation and Yuska's presentation, you can see that on the side of making, in some cases, just minor tweaks to help the system be more user friendly and to have the functionality that lets users modify certain changes, like how often you get your backups or visibility for those backups and the result of backups. It is something that we consider very important, and is part of our continuous improvement process here at Sippy. But so much for the development team. We appreciate you guys sharing your information with us.
So there's two topics I also wanted to cover today as part of the development team. Some of them we've done some presentations on before, so some of this might be old information for you, some of this might be new information for you, but we do still want to share this information out to our customers. That being some changes we made to CDR reports. And then the next topic I'll cover is a change that we're making to our documentation system. This is sort of more of a long-term project that we're working on within our development team at Sippy. But the first change that I want to talk about is how we manage our CDR reports. So when you're thinking about the soft switch and all the records it keeps, your call records are going to be occupy the biggest amount of disk space on your computer, on your server. And the more data that you have means the longer it's going to take to find data that matches your search criteria. So it's pretty common that some of our customers might want to store their CDRs for a month or maybe even 2 months or 3 months before those CDRs get purged and cycled. So it takes some time for your CDR records to expire. Now, on the flip side of the coin, that also represents a larger amount of data that we need to go searching for when you're trying to generate a report that might have certain criteria that you're looking for. So it's pretty analogous to finding that needle in your pile of hay. The bigger the pile of hay that you have, the harder it is for you to find that needle. So we made some changes in how procedurally we search through that pile of hay. So now basically we've improved the process in which we're searching. So we take smaller subsections of that pile and query that appropriately. And that change has represented in some substantial differences in how quickly some of our CDR reports get generated. So here's a pretty good example of what we had in the past and where we were in the new report. I believe this was based off of our summary reports. And it shows how many records that we need to search through. So it's pretty common to have like tens of millions of records over a 4-week period. And in versions before we made this change, that search could take up to 11.5 hours for pulling an entire month's worth of report data. Under the new system and the new optimizations we've applied, that now takes about 14 minutes. So this is quite a substantial change in how quickly you can retrieve and access the data that you need to operate your business. To put this more into perspective, the longer out of a period that you're searching for, the faster your improvement's going to be. So, it's a pretty small change if you're looking only for a week's worth of data. But if you're looking for an entire month's worth of data, it's about 45 times faster to retrieve that data set. So you could get the results and the information you need to make the critical business decisions to apply to your business. Now, this is a pretty important change for all our customers. And so we decided to take this change and not only just apply it in Sippy 2023, which is the upcoming version that we have, but we have also backported this change out to all our production versions that we support. So if you are running an older version of our report software, and you are currently having problems accessing your CDR reports because they're taking too long, I encourage you to get your system updated to the latest version, and then you will have access to this improved quality of life CDR reporting feature that we've implemented. And that comes standard with your support agreements. If you have an active support agreement, you could have upgrades applied to your system at no additional cost to you. So we have applied this change out to our CDR reporting, ASR reports, and customer summary reports. We'll be looking to add a couple more reporting features, apply this strategy out to a couple of other reporting features that we have in the system as well. The next change I wanted to talk a little bit about is documentation. Now, this is probably the documentation that you're pretty used to seeing and accessing. This was probably your holy Bible when you were first setting up your soft switch, trying to figure out how to set your rates, your tariffs, and whatnot, and getting started. And it's a really good, effective resource for you to help get set up and configure really quickly. Now, with documentation, it's constantly being updated by both our development team and our support team based off of problems that we're seeing out there in the field or new changes that we're coding every day as part of our development team. But rest assured, the documentation that we maintain is maintained by system experts like ourselves. As productions, the thing with the living documentation is we have changes that happen to our documentation that happen on an ongoing basis. So like the changes I mentioned with CDR reporting, those are changes that we push out during the life cycle of our production release. So that also in turn means we need to update our documentation. But that inherently means some problems. So if you have an older version of our soft switch that hasn't been updated in some time, some of the changes that we might make might not necessarily be reflected in what you have on your soft switch. So we've started working on a new system for our documentation to store our documentation in. That might be version specific to the version of software that you have currently deployed. So when you get your system updated, you'll pull down a fresh copy of the documentation at the time that your system gets updated, and that's sort of like a true to life example of how your system is working to that day. So it's a nice way to make sure that you're not bombarded with new features that are coming out that you don't have access to, but we'll still be able to maintain a core set of documentation that is current and live and living as well. The existing documentation is still going to stay up, so we're not doing anything to change that. We're pretty much just making version-specific iterations of that and bundling that out with the soft switch is what our long-term vision for that will be. Just to give you a sneak peek of what this documentation will look like, this is based off of Read the Docs. So if you've ever done any technical writing, this is a very common system out there. And you can click through and see different articles that are out there as well based off of what you see. So what you see here is going to be pretty much identical to the existing version that we have on our Freshdesk portal that you use to initially set up your soft switch. But when you purchase or use the soft switch at the time that your system gets updated, you'll pull a fresh copy of the documentation at that time and have that readily available to you. So it'll be the most accurate documentation you could get for your version of soft switch. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for my end. I'll throw it back to Fred.
Thank you, Philip. So everything from CDR updates to reports, which are all very important on the commercial side for every one of our customers. We get requests from time to time for new reports. And as I've mentioned in previous presentations, we are always very good about taking your requests and working with them to try to develop them into the system. So yeah, thanks very much for all that, Philip, Yusuke, and Amelia, for the work that you do on the soft switch to make improvements, especially when they come as by way of requests from customers. But once again, now I'm very happy to introduce you finally to a member of our team who has never been on camera with us. And today she is here with us. I'm talking about Anu Pathak, who is in charge of our billing department. And yeah, just wanted to introduce her. We wanted to make sure that you could put a face to the name on all the emails that you see. And she's always very helpful and very happy to comply and see what she can do about processing your requests whenever they come in. But for now, I'll just let you say hi, Anu. Say hi and maybe let the customers know that you're there for them.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Hi, I am Anu Pathak. I'm based in Vancouver. I look after the billing and the invoicing side for Sippy software. First of all, I'd like to thank all of our customers who pay on time and not on time. And we are very happy to have them on board with us. The new thing which I would like to say that we have automated payments also done on our billing software, which you can ease up your payment requirements. And we have come up with a cryptocurrency payments too. If you can send an email to me or Fred, we'll surely send the details for cryptocurrency payments. We have our billing address on Skype also. So you can communicate to me via that Skype method. And that's it for me.
Yeah, thanks very much, Anu. So that's great. It's great to have you here with us. I know that in past I've introduced our customers, everybody who watches online, to pretty much everybody that's front line with the team. We've never had a chance to introduce you, so we're very happy that you're here. For the customers who are watching, Anu is based in the United States. She was working with us in the Vancouver office, but has since moved to the United States. So she is living in the U.S. and working in the U.S. So we're very happy to have her with us. One question for you, Anu. With crypto payments, what is the best way for customers to proceed by way of making sure that their payments are received and all that? How would you suggest that they do that?
Crypto payments are only allowed if we do a test run and we confirm first that the payment has come through, because it's quite a difficult task to trace the crypto payments. So if we set up a trial run of, say, $1, minimum $2, if it comes through, then I can email you back and then you can carry forward the whole payment through. So that's a little bit for trusted customers and who can work with us properly.
Okay, thank you, Anu. That's great information. And I guess now it's up to me to share some information here on the commercial side. So on the sales side, one of the things that, as Anu mentioned, is that we are making for some customers automated payments available, and as well as crypto payments. On the sales side, I want to make sure that you are all very much aware of the fact that we've got discounts that we can offer to make your use of our soft switch even better, and to make your experience with us even better. I know that from time to time I get requests for discounts. And we're always happy to provide discounts. We want you to know, though, that we provide discounts based on multiple payments. So either you are renting multiple licenses at once and paying for multiple months of rental, or you're purchasing multiple licenses. We are very happy to provide those discounts, depending on the number of months, or depending on the number of licenses that you purchase. I also want to talk a little bit about the main differences between the support plans. So to start off, we'll start with the premium support. So premium support is something that we started offering last year. And to this date, there are a few customers who have already taken advantage of the opportunity of using premium support. One of the advantages of having premium support is that you get access to having more interaction with the support team. So say, for example, if you have on a standard support agreement, there are certain limitations, like when updates and upgrades are carried out. Typically, they cannot be carried out on the weekends. If you do have professional or enterprise level support, we can work with you to carry out those upgrades and updates on weekends. This is, again, based on coordinating with you and coming up with a suitable plan for making those updates and those upgrades. Again, that's available to our premium support customers who are on professional and enterprise level. Some of the other benefits are that you get additional training from the support team. The team itself is instructed at a policy level to provide more attention to you, as you would expect, to make sure that you got the level of emphasis on your system, and that the team is able to answer questions more promptly and with a little bit more intimate knowledge and awareness of the requirements of your system. So some of the things that we are doing to make sure that the team is prepared for delivering this level of support is they are being trained by senior members to understand and to look out for particular issues that might be more in line with your business requirements. So any professional in the enterprise customer, their system is a little bit more known by us. So it is more understood by us, and it is more intricately and personally looked at especially whenever a ticket does come in. So more on the benefits of what professional and enterprise level support deliver. So we've got senior support team members who focus on your switch and on addressing your support tickets. We also have special tools that are available, including, as I mentioned before, online meetings. So on a regular basis for a standard support customer, online meetings are not available because we get so many requests for standard support that we cannot field every one of them with online meetings. But for professional and enterprise support customers, we can schedule and coordinate meetings, as I mentioned, to make sure that we understand your issues a little bit better when that's necessary. We've got a number of customers already making use of enterprise support, so it is important for us to make sure that we make this available and that we announce it to you, so that you are encouraged to try and take advantage of the opportunity of getting the professional support. Finally, as far as the costs, as you know, if you're paying standard support, the cost is annually $1,900 per year. And that allows us to deliver updates and upgrades at no additional cost. It also makes sure that you've got the standard support, which, as you know, comes with all the promises and guarantees that we make. which, as you've seen in today's presentation by the team members, includes a lot of the work that is done on a daily basis to extend the life of the switch, not only in terms of its functionality, but in terms of the roadmap for what we build into it. The cost for professional support is higher at $3,600, but as I mentioned before, comes with a number of benefits like the online meetings that you can request to have with the support team members so that we can address your issues more intimately and so that we can understand whatever issue you are encountering more efficiently and much faster. So on the enterprise support side, the cost is $6,500, and that is typically right now being used by larger customers who have a need to have more focused team members with senior experience look at their system and be able to manage and navigate, monitor their systems to make sure that the support that they get is efficient and top-notch. One of the other things that I wanted to touch on today was the Amazon S3 automated backups. This is something that we started offering last year, and so far we've had a great deal of success with customers that want to make sure that if they don't have the ability to have a redundancy set up for the switch, that they're able to afford and have something to back up their system in case of a complete catastrophe. You know, a few years ago, there was an issue with a data center catching on fire. And I can only think that anybody who would have had at that time a redundancy set up in that same data center would have not had much of a way out of that to get their network back and running. Because if their redundancy was set up in the same data center, well, the data center caught fire. So in this case, we decided to deliver automated backups, which essentially would help you in the event of a complete catastrophe. So the automated backups would allow you to restore your system from a complete scratch by way of encrypted data that our team would have access to, and only our team would have access to. And with our help, you'd be able to have your network back up and running. If you have questions about this automated backups, we would encourage you to reach out to us by way of email or by phone call and let us know. We can help you determine the level of backup size that you need and help you store that information so that if you were ever to need that catastrophe relief, we could be there for you. Finally, on pricing and support options. As I mentioned before, we've got a number of discounts that we can offer to you for multiple payments, and we're always happy to do it. If you pay 2 years of support at once, for example, we give you 20% discount for paying that. We've got some customers who have already paid 4 years in advance, and that gets them a 35% discount. Now, that is essentially equivalent to a little bit more than a full year of support for free. So if you wanted to lower your support costs, by all means, we have a number of ways that we can do it. And we're always happy to work with you to make those discounts possible. Again, we are happy to do it, but we can do it only when there are multiple payments at once. Sometimes customers ask to have discounts, but they have nothing to leverage their negotiation with. So when we provide the discounts, it's based on some merits so that you know that we have something for you if you're looking for discounts. On AWS hosted systems, we can always do that as well by way of making multiple payments at once. We can provide those discounts. I'm not sure if you're aware, but we also have the ability to provide per ticket support. If you have no support already, or if you have light support contract with us, we can provide per ticket support to let you have some relief whenever you do need some assistance from us. There are some customers who choose not to have support. Again, we always encourage you to do that, to have support, because that allows you to have the constant updates and upgrades every year without any additional charge. And as always, all our costs include provisioning, onboarding, standard updates and upgrades, and the service of our very much dedicated support and development team. Philip, I don't really have much more. I encourage customers, as a final note, I encourage you to reach out to me. My email address is fred.marroquin@sippysoft.com. You can also write me at sales@sippysoft.com. And I'm always very happy to answer any questions or provide information on any of the information that you've seen today. So even if it's support or development team related, address your questions to me, and I'm always happy to address your questions. So for now, I thank you for watching, and look out for the next video, which will have Max telling us about the road ahead and some of the things that we've done, and some of the more exciting things that he's working on to improve not only the company, but also the Switch itself. For now, thanks very much. We'll see you soon.